Woke went broke. That's the subject of tonight's Waters Words. Here's what happened to the Democratic Party this week. Americans are fed up with the Democrats. We won't stand by while liberals destroy the country. So give yourselves a round of applause. Here's what the red wave looks like. Virginia went red just a year after Biden won by 10. A Republican nearly toppled the New Jersey governor, a state Biden won by 16. A rare red wave hit Long Island, too, and Minneapolis voted against dismantling the police department. The law and order candidate in Seattle, remember CHOP or Chaz, whatever it was called, they beat the pants off the radical left DA there. And to write in, beat the socialist in Buffalo. Common sense had a very big week. What does this all mean?
You see, what happens in Virginia will in large part determine what happens in 2022, 2024, and on.
Wow, so there's one thing Kamala and I agree on. Let's check in with her boss.
We're going to win. I think we're going to win in Virginia.
Like most things, Biden didn't see it coming. On the day of the reckoning, a reporter asked Joe Biden if he took any responsibility for Democrats getting shellacked. Joe said, no, the country is just confused.
I just think people are at a point, and it's understandable, where there's a whole lot of confusion.
We're not confused. The American people aren't stupid. We know exactly what's going on, and we don't like it. Biden's agenda isn't our agenda. We want lower prices, cheaper gas, stronger borders. But Biden keeps serving us vax mandates and places to plug in our electric cars. We don't even drive electric cars. Here was the key in Virginia. The left started a critical race theory culture war, and they lost. Look what Terry McAuliffe ran on.
I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
Youngkin ran against racism in the classroom. He actually listened to parents. But Terry listened to the teachers' union and called parents racist domestic terrorists. And after he lost, most of the media wouldn't even admit why.
Critical race theory is not taught in Virginia schools. It's not a big deal.
Critical race theory, which isn't real.
Critical race theory was a lie. Youngkin jumped on board with the right's new freakout over something called critical race theory, a thing they can't define and that isn't taught in K through 12 schools anyway.
Like an alcoholic, they're in denial. The first step is admitting you guys have a problem. The media can't do that here because CRT says whites are born racist. Whites are still oppressing blacks, and whites are only successful because of white supremacy. Could you see Rachel Maddow look into the camera and tell her audience she's a racist? Maddow would have to confess she got a TV show because of white supremacy. She'd have to apologize to Joy Reid for oppressing her. Because that's the key to CRT. It's garbage, but the left-wing media can't stand up to the far left, so they don't say CRT doesn't exist. Not only doesn't CRT exist, they say, but speaking out against something that doesn't exist is racist.
Youngkin played the race card for a reason, because he knows it works on certain white voters.
Racism raised its ugly head, and the Republican candidate used it very aptly.
Some of it was dog whistle racism.
1,000%.
It was not a dog whistle, it was a bullhorn.
Only a fool would say Virginia rejecting racism in schools is racist. This is the state that voted for Barack Obama twice. Youngkin won 55% of the Hispanic vote, 60% of the white vote. He doubled Donald Trump's numbers with black females. That's what the left calls a rainbow coalition. The numbers don't lie, but the media does. Americans are sick and tired of the left calling them racist, calling their kids racist, calling the country racist. Martin Luther King would have opposed critical race theory. Listen.
Because I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
The left has turned MLK upside down. He wanted a colorblind society, but all the left wants to see is color. So-called racist Virginia citizens elected the first statewide black female office holder, Lieutenant Governor-elect Winsome Sears. Listen.
There are some who want to divide us, and we must not let that happen. They would like us to believe we are back in 1963. We can live where we want. We can eat where we want. We own the water fountains. Here I am, living proof.
The American people are rejecting the race card, and Democrats are scrambling. They don't have any other card to play. They can't play the Trump card, can't play Russia, Russia, Russia. COVID's fading, and so now they have to run on the issues. And not surprisingly, they're getting clobbered. Some Democrats are trying to warn them, you go woke, you're going to go broke.
Democrats are going to have to come face to face with this issue of wokeism.
It's just stupid wokeness. Just defund the police, lunacy to take Abraham Lincoln's name off of schools. I mean, that people see that. Some of these people need to go to a woke detox center.
I think that the Democrats are coming across in ways that we don't recognize, that are annoying and offensive and seem out of touch in ways that I don't think show up in our feeds when we're looking at our kind of echo chamber.
So the Democratic Party is at a crossroads right now. Do they die on the woke hill or retreat to fight another day? We're seeing the same kind of split in Congress. Watch.
I hope it's a wake-up call for all of us. I'm concerned. I've been talking about our debt. I've been talking about inflation. I've been talking about the fallout we may have. This is not a center-left or a left country. We are a center, if anything, as a little center-right country.
I think that the results show the limits of trying to run a fully 100% super moderated campaign.
So facing a rebuke from voters and watching the red wave form, do they listen to voters and pump the brakes on Biden's trillions, or do they swing for the left field fence knowing they're going to get pancaked next November anyway? So the Democrats are divided in the media and in Congress. And after making our lives more expensive, more dangerous, more divisive, and starting a culture war they can't win, they're about to hear an even louder roar from the American people next year. This is only the beginning.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.